We played in a qualifiers to the Chunlan Cup professional tournament. So in this qualifiers, four North American professionals started and signed up. It was me, Ryan Lee, our strongest North American pro 4P, Alex Chi, 1P, and Jiang Mingjiu. Okay, so this one, we it's a single elimination, and we are playing Ryan in the first game. And as you guys can see by the end, the game really didn't go very well. However, this is this is very, I have to say, this is very typical of Ryan's games. In the beginning, you can barely see the movement of the graph. White is up, black is up, white is up, black is up. And then in the middle game, he would find a good opportunity. He would punish the opponent, and he keeps punishing the opponent. So this one, um, what was our game plan? Our game plan was kind of opposite of how the game went. Our game plan was to go for a lot of potential and not go too much on the territory. Um, However, in the game, we went back to our old ways and went straight for all the territory possible. But a part of that was the opponent made us an offer that we couldn't refuse, so we ended up doing this. Um, okay, so uh, let's go do this. Let's go through the game. Okay, we were black this game. It was random draws. AGA rules, 1 hour, 1 minute countdowns, so a lot of time. Um, he waits and waits until he sees an opportunity and jumps on it. Yeah, that's exactly how Ryan plays. And he does this. I'm sure his consideration is that he is the risk reward of this playstyle is very attractive. When the opponent makes a mistake, you can usually gain a lot, and then when the opponent plays super well, you only lose a little bit. So as you guys can see, this kind of a playstyle is extremely efficient and good. Okay, so pretty normal to modern Josekis. We played this because we didn't want to play doubles and stands. We kind of knew that this was gonna happen. We just didn't want to go too into the territory, too much into the territory. Okay, so in the game, we prepared something. Well, not really prepared. We wanted to play something. And we knew that normally we would be blocking here, but then we didn't like how white was gonna get, a big right hand side, and then is sort of connecting the one part of the board that white has greatest amount of potential territory, connecting that with the corner, so we didn't like that very much, so we blocked here. And then we played this Hane, which was a little bit bad if white harness, but this is a we had some full board considerations. First, we this 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 variations we saw once. I'm pretty sure Ryan was not gonna go for this variation. It just looks like white is so like curled up in the corner, even though this is probably the highest win rate variation. And this also does do what we wanted, which is expand on the upper side and sort of eliminate the connection between the corner and the side. So that was the thinking. So we kind of felt that there was no way the opponent was going to choose the that variation. But this variation was chosen in like 15 seconds, and after white played here, we were like, um, we felt a lot of pressure because um, well, first we wanted to emphasize the upper side, and now we can't do that anymore. And second, we have problems. If we play this, we end up in Gote. This shape is very similar to the double Hane shape, like this one, except we don't capture the two stones. This Joseki, we don't capture the two stones, and white doesn't get the Panuki. So a little bit worse for white, a little bit worse for black. So it seems pretty even, but directional wise, white does, um, white is preventing us from going over on the top and sort of really like in 15 seconds came up with a regular another Kiyosaki solution that really threw our game plan off. So right about here we felt a little bit off, and extending into the into the 2-2 point in Gote was not what we wanted to do early on in the game. Um, Remember, we wanted to emphasize some potential territory as well, not go dive deep down and grab just territory. So play here was not what we wanted. We already played this second line slide at b6. On the lower right, we also played a territory Joseki not, and white had the influence when potential territory on the outside. So for a variety of things, reasons, and factors, um, the opening Joseki choices, we felt like we were a little bit worse overall. And so right now we didn't choose to go into the Sansan like a normal Joseki. That would really be us committing to this territory versus outside influence and potential kind of a style. So we wanted to jump out, and so we did. Well, we really wanted to invade the top and start the fighting. We're like saying we kind of didn't get the opening we wanted, so let's just start the fighting in as good a spot as we can. Um, the opening maybe not what we wanted, but it's certainly not very bad for us yet. So we didn't think about invading here directly here. So we jumped first and then invaded, and we invaded on the fourth line. Very reasonable. So this kicking headbutting move was very nice. It made us very heavy locally. And so here we chose this move because precisely because we wanted to make this Hane, and when white is gonna Hane we can cut. And so we felt this was a this was a big threat against white, and it is. And it is. So if white had played something easy, like going into the corner like this, going like here, we would have for sure played that next move, and we picked this invasion spot specifically to do this. However, having this threatening move be ignored is a one, it's a bad sign. Second, it really doesn't feel good to have your threatening move be ignored. And if it's bad for us, then it's even worse because objectively we're bad and we're being ignored. So um, yeah. So luckily for us, objectively, this was not so bad. It's just that being ignored was bad. So, and white does a very good job of not letting black take an easy sente to play in that area. So this move was quite good. Um, okay, so we extended down normal, and then white extended here. The next threat for white, there is a wedging threat, but this is not a bad one. We can play this. We can connect on the third line. We can do a variety of things. We really wanted to play this one that we wanted to play earlier, but at this point, as the game shows, something like this may be very acceptable for white, connecting the two stones here with the weak group on the top, either this way or this way, kind of connecting the weaknesses and becoming stronger. Our influence is facing this bottom side, which there's a glaring stone here that really limits us as well. So for a variety of several reasons, our influence here isn't that impressive. And this stone is just at the right amount of distance where it's impossible to um, attack from the other side, and instead we have to play here. But this is expanding from our strong thickness, which isn't very valuable. So right now we still didn't play the move that we were threatening to, and so we went into the Sansan hoping for basically the game situation. And here, for territory, white has this move, but um, capturing the stone greatly strengthens black, and white doesn't want to do that, of course. So the game sequence is basically forced. Um, there was really when white played these, white was gonna push through. Um, Okay, so we were hoping for this, and we got it. We were worried about this move. We were not gonna do what's the um, AI move of here. We were gonna think about whether we want to live in the corner or not, or um, live in the corner in a big way. This move is threatening to connect here, which is good. That's why this move is played. And of course, if white simply blocks, which is good, this is almost capturing black. So that's what we were. Um, so that's maybe some worries from white here. And of course, the other idea is to play something like this, and then later, if um, somehow this becomes useful, either this way or this way, if there's some syntax here, then maybe we can capture this more easily or something. Um, that is White's worry. And if White just captures small, that would not be satisfactory as well. So there were some worries for White, but this block would definitely be the strongest thing for White against us. Okay. However, overall in the game, we took another corner, which we didn't want to do, right? So our game plan is um, sort of back um, backfiring or not being followed, you know, um, you know. So, but we got the move that we wanted at the end, so that's good. And one variation we were thinking was when white harness, we were gonna cut. Um, one variation we were thinking about was exactly this, white giving up these stones and then really going for the center influence. But we don't have any other choices. And we were happy to take a lot of territory, and there's no weak group here anyway. So the other thing was if white extends on the bottom, similar to before, we were happy to take this position and move on with the game towards the bottom. Maybe here, maybe here. Because white is on the outside, just like our thickness is facing a limiting move here. If we have this move, white's thickness is facing a limiting move here too. And we know this is a fine local move. So yeah, we were thinking all these things. What we really did not we did not anticipate, and um, what we really did not expect was white was going to Tanuki on the top. We were really shocked at the time. It turned out to be quite an okay move, and these two sides turned out to be equivalent. which is even worse news for us because our threat gets tenuki'd, and now it's two tenukis now. And still, objectively, it's totally fine for the opponent. This means our game plan was relatively flawed, and we were not able to keep our opponent's attention in the location that we wanted, in the fighting that we wanted to play. And instead, we're having to fight where the opponent decides, and we have to keep fighting where the opponent wants, which is very didn't feel very good. However, objectively speaking, this is a totally even game, and Black even gained a little bit in the last bit of fighting, which really just means that our threats here was indeed pretty severe, and the top stones are indeed very weak. And so here, the normal move is this, and this is a Joseki, and we really didn't want this Joseki to be played because this is thickness here, influence here, influence up here, two influences converging is very bad for us. If we invade, we're not making anything, and we're getting attacked and so on. So this is what White wanted. Similarly here, one Joseki, if you guys don't know, is this Joseki, Black plays 5. This is a very similar thing. And so here AI does something that AI does not do the usual Joseki, and then the AI allows White to make this Atari just so that we could play here. If I had thought of this as a possibility, I would have for sure chosen this because when White Han is on the corner, the block is just a normal move. So yeah, so for that, because of that, we said, okay, but this block isn't gonna threaten us. If you play what we did on the top right and play this, note how similar this is. We're gonna Tanuki again and then capture the top. Um, this is give one more move here from white is just gonna be this is totally a happy this is a totally happy for black, some result like this. So we were like, yeah, we're very light, and you are like we're slippery, and then we slipped away, and now if you keep punishing us in the corner, we can play the top. So we were quite happy playing this way, but in hindsight, of course, given the help of the AI, this is exactly what we wanted. If we wanted to play this way, we have to go a little less far. And so this Kosumi, given that Hane is still okay, that was something we didn't expect. However, this way we do lose Sente. So this was an interesting thing that and from what happened in the game, that would have for sure been we would have for sure chosen that over the game. So the game, White again, we were slipping away, we were slippery, but Ryan sort of gripped us. We were like a snake, like slithering away, and then he gripped us where we couldn't slip away, and we still had to fight here. Um, and that's because if we Tanuki now, of course, White captures a very big corner, and we didn't want that. And if we extend, White still captures, although this seemed okay too. But of course, this is White saving his corner move, so saving that 2-2 move. So it's a very efficient capture. If we play here, this could be one, and maybe this could have been a good thing. And if White double harness, we would have played this way. This way, we would have for sure accepted this for sure. And then we would get what we wanted on the top. We wanted to play M17 to capture the top anyway. But yeah, indeed, White is gonna cut, and White wants to play this shape, which kind of reverts back to the original Joseki. So White's cut here is very strong. And so when White played here, we hunted. We were thinking if White cuts, of course, this is what we accept. But when white hunted here, we were really caught off guard. We expected the Hane and the this move to be relatively equivalent. But of course, when White hunted here, we were really in trouble, and we were thinking. We thought for a while, and then we decided on this Hane, which is correct. We did this right, and it's a very good recovery. But of course, um, we should have just Haned if we wanted to Hane, and then picked this Joseki. This way, we still have a stone here, and white is stronger than before, but also our corner has less pressure than before as well. So this might still be okay. Um, yeah. So we played this, and here this is right, but we had to do it. Um, okay, and so here white Atari's this very reasonable, and Ryan he's a very um unaggressive in the opening kind of a player. So he really likes making thickness, and this is thick, this is taking up Hanuki. So this is right exactly the type of game that Ryan wanted. And so right now, the opening is really a failure for us. We got Tanuki'd with our threats, but and Ryan has been able to get the type of game that he wants. Very thick, very safe, and thick and safe, um, and then ready to pounce on opponent transgressions or mistakes. Um, and let's just say we were, even though we expected the game to be still very close at the moment, um, we did not have any confidence in our abilities to make high quality, uh, um, you know, uh, uh, only make a few mistakes later in the game. We did not have any confidence in that. Okay, so right now, specifically in this situation, we have to live in the corner. And if we do live in the corner here, I'm sure this Atari is another very um, thick and strong and efficient move at the same time. So I didn't want that to happen. Ideally, what we would want, what we would have is this shape, Atari connect, Atari capture, and then this shape. We would be happy getting this shape, relatively okay, not too much. And then we would still have light. Um, the corner is alive. We're still very flexible here. Um, Ideally, we would want this shape, but in the game, it's just like slightly more flexibility for black. Not a big deal. But in the game, we were exactly afraid of this move by white, and this way white can capture the corner in Sente. Um, and it's similar to the shapes before, except we played 2-2 and white played here, which is a bad exchange for us, and this would be overall very, very bad for for us as well. So white doesn't have to capture this if we Atari on the second line late, and that's why we couldn't get this Atari, which is even if we got the Atari, it would have been um, probably similar to the game. Um, White plus 0.7, which is okay. Okay, so we played quite well here. Um, a lot of high quality moves, so we didn't fall apart here, which is good. Um, and now because we made this Atari now becomes less severe. Later, if we want to defend, we can play this move and then Atari on the top, force white to connect in a very inefficient shape. If white captures the ko, we never have to worry about the ko at all. Um, if some more Atari happens, we can continue fighting the ko, and the ko is very, very light. So we were going to play this way to sort of defend. And so that's also why white played here. There is a little bit of an issue with black playing on the top here. So if these things happen, white was gonna connect on the outside here. So this stone potentially moving out seems to be one of White's worries. So this shape isn't as strong as it first appears. That's why White plays here, expanding some territory here and taking away Black's I shape. So a very strong move here, and it fixes the issues on the top as well. So at this point, we did think about playing here. This would be like a second-hand way of getting that squeeze again, and it's even better because we can squeeze on the other side and take away this eye for white. So yeah, we were thinking about this, but all the time in the back of our minds, we really wanted to play on the top and capture the top. So something like this indeed was what we really wanted to do, and this would be a fine thing to do. So we were under severe attack, so we wanted to make some exchanges here. So two ways to strengthen: one is to attach here, one is to extend here, or to jump here. Um, we chose to attach over here, which is okay. And again, we also see that thread on the top, so we kind of wanted to be able to get this turn in. And then later we can, after that whole sequence, we can connect this out. It's a possibility, and the white's outside isn't um, that strong, so that's what we kind of wanted. However, here when white ataried here, we made a quite an issue. White could have also cut. That would have been a complicated fight. Something like this was indeed what we were planning. Something like this. Pretty sure we were gonna get this move and then capture one stone, for sure. And this way, white has to play on the bottom, and we can take the top. We were gonna be very fine with this. That's also why we decided to block here, entice the cut, as opposed to extending or jumping. Um, yeah, and also of course blocking here is has some Sente Agis inside White's territory. But here we did what we were gonna do earlier, which is this move. But when White played here, we really felt like first we felt this exchange was bad for us, which true it was. And secondly, we didn't expect White to take a Gote move here. Um, and still we feel like this group is under severe attack, and also it is strengthening the bottom here. So one thing we keep talking about with our students and on the channel about how to play effectively is when you're attacking something, even if you're trying to just kill the group, the most effective way to do it is to strengthen the surrounding, you strengthen your own surrounding stones. And the best thing, of course, is to most important thing, of course, is strengthening the weakest of your strong surrounding stones. And the last sequence of moves is white doing exactly that. And you can see, um, even Ryan's moves are in agreement with our ideas. So what we say makes a lot of sense. You guys can safely take these ideas and apply them to your games. Okay, um, so first white is strengthening the top, and then now white is strengthening the bottom. That's the way to attack. Here, of course, if I had after white extended, then I kind of regretted. Even if I were to play, I would have played this more light move. And if white plays the same thing, this move is farther away from white's thickness. The cut is still protected, and we would have an easier time moving out. So we would have chosen that. But of course, we would have turned for sure. So after this move, we really felt kind of bad about this situation. Um, yeah. So now the turn, and the not answering the turn was surprising. But even if white answered, we were gonna probably make another defensive move in the middle anyway. So it sort of made us very, very heavy. If we turned earlier, would have been much easier. One, we may even not protect against the cut, which is similar to how Ryan ignored our threats. Maybe we ignore Ryan's threats for a change as well. So this is possible. We would push out. We would get an Atari, which is a lot of value. And then this is a code we may or may not take it. This is a possibility. So, given this possibility, then at least if we are protecting the cut, maybe we would be protecting it in a more, more aggressive way. Maybe here, maybe in the middle here, um, all kinds of things. And when the cut happens, um, yeah, so maybe here. Of course, this move would have been great. Only in hindsight. Um, so here, after this exchange, we felt like we were cramped. And given that we played this exchange, the threats against the left-hand side is also decreased. And so here was Ryan's really surprising moves for us. So we allowed White to get Sente. There's some issues here. But at least we thought White was gonna play on the top and save his stones instead of it keep expanding on the bottom. Expanding on the bottom we knew was very big as well, but you know the top is so much territory, and this is the offer um, of the top territories that we couldn't refuse, and ultimately what really decided um, um, what this game really evolved into, the structure of the game. So these are Sente moves, and so when we played these, when this ko is left here, we didn't want to start right away, and so we're moving on towards the upper side, which we wanted anyway, but um, perhaps it would be better if we could get this position which which would really be happy for us if we could peep here instead of the Atari. This would be really good. This is and then we could just keep attacking. This would be really strong. White may block and then play this. Um, Again, this way White is locally much better, but still Black doesn't have to play these moves, and even if Black just does this regular move, um, now this peep becomes really bad. And also, if White connects, then Black doesn't peep. Maybe Black extends once. Don't know. Anyway, this would be really good for Black. Um, so I'm sure. Well, maybe it's just really even. But as the AI shows, there's a very good response by White like this, which prevents the Hane from being sent. And now White is almost totally alive. So maybe White also had some good responses to the peep, but for sure, we would have chosen the peep if we knew that White was gonna um, answer with a ko. Anyway, okay. So leaving the code here leaves a very big uncertainty for the on the board, and it really affects how the game was gonna progress. Um, but we were very happy at the moment to be capturing the top. This is an offer that we can't refuse. We are a territory player after all. Um, who could say no to all this territory? Um, and indeed, objectively, with the AI evaluation, we are indeed okay at this moment. Of course, we expected us to be ahead a little at this moment, just because White is giving up such a big group, so much territory on the top. It's stones plus territory. But we knew that we tend to be optimistic, so we kind of thought the game was pretty even, um, which it turns out to be the case. Um, yeah, there's a big uncertainty with the code on the left-hand side, so this is quite an interesting game from now on. However, there is one thing that we didn't consider very much because there's a even though there's a code here, black doesn't have ice space here. And we have a kind of a redundant shape with this empty triangle, so it's not the best, most efficient shape for us. On the other hand, white has very efficient shapes. So if you just look at efficiency, black has a glaring inefficiency here, and white has no inefficiencies. Um, there's black peeped here, so white connected. Whitestone has no inefficiencies. So just from that, you could argue that the game is at least even, or if not better for white. And I'm sure Ryan, my opponent, expected white to be better here. So yeah. Now that I look back at it from an efficiency point of view, it does seem like all of White's moves are quite efficient. And here with the Ko, it's super efficient in the sense that there's a weakness, but Black doesn't want to exploit it. Yeah, and Black has a glaring inefficiency here with this piece. Yeah. However, objectively speaking, black plus 1 point is so we're playing quite well up to this point. So in the game we played these, we made this stronger, so we're getting ready to make cuts on this side. We had an idea to play this attach. If white headbutts, then this side has is relatively good. And if white extends, there's a Hane connect. We don't care about damaging the corner that much because we Haned, right? And so we can destroy the side. We're very happy. And also after we peeped here, um, we were focusing on the fact that look, white doesn't have two eyes. Maybe when the invasion happens later, white has to make two eyes here. But now that I'm looking at the game in the review, look how many white stones are here. Why would I have the idea that white would eventually have to live? You know, if white plays here, it's a sente against the corner. Um, even if white just plays these moves now, we're gonna live in the corner, and why would I think about this group having to live? Crazy thought on our end. Crazy thought. This group, even though it's not, even if I'm right about it's not being like 100% strong, it's at least 80, 90% strong. So if we saw that, we would have had more urgency to start the fighting on the top, which is very good. So if black does this, um, even if we have to connect like this at least white is much weaker than black is, and this is also using the newfound thickness we have of capturing the stones there to attack the middle white. And of course, we would have played this if we had one coast threat, and this would be a good coast threat, which we didn't see. We didn't consider fighting the code with the Hane here. We always thought we had to do Atari somehow. So if we could, the AI variation is like this, which is quite interesting. Of course, moves could be annulled, could be changed and everything. So this is gonna happen where both sides are strong. White is capturing and can live. Black made some exchanges and extra exchanges is helpful for the middle. And then white has a group here. And if black can just make another exchange and then make white um, make two eyes in the middle, that would be black, and then have black connecting the middle, somehow like this. Even if black gets gote, it'll be easy for black to start reducing on the bottom. And with this one white group, it'll be a lot of pressure against white. So that's in hindsight, of course, we would be doing this fight where white is weakest. But at this time, I really felt like we just took a huge territory really wanted to be a little bit stronger here. And so we expected white to expand in the middle. And we were gonna like this code is always a possibility, and we were probably gonna just invade like this or like this. And when white continues to attack us, we were gonna use the code to survive, or use the code to gain something big on the other end of the board. So we really felt our group was quite strong in the middle. But in hindsight, of course, the group in the middle was not very strong. So when white played here, we like we started thinking, I didn't realize the middle group for black had so much issues. Now we don't have two eyes, and we don't want to start the code. What are we gonna do? So even though objectively it's still totally even, um, we uh, we felt like we had to take care of the middle, which really, the bottom potential is really big now. So for after white played here in the middle, we really felt that we don't have a good game right now, or our lead is probably um, not a lead, which is right. Okay, so still relatively even. We played these moves to strengthen the middle somehow. Um, Eventually, if we get strong enough, we would fight the Ko as if it's um, if we're alive on the outside, the Ko would be just very light for black. But we're not strong enough there yet. So right now we cut, and the idea is now we cut. There's some close threads here. If white extends, we can have this move as a close thread, which is very strong. We can fight here relatively effectively, and then later we can still invade this territory. And so ultimately, one misjudgment was we thought this left-hand side was less strong than it actually is, and we felt that our position was a bit stronger than it actually is, and the close threat being a little bit tougher than it actually proved. All this was misjudgments that made us feel like our game was much better than it was. And so as a result, when White played here, um, we responded. We felt really happy to be able to keep strengthening here, and we kind of thought White was going to extend. This was expected, and we thought there's a code here, but with all these moves in the middle here, White was not going to capture this group, and we were going to extend here and then invades this territory. White was not going to capture this group because we had some Agis that we saw. So we were very confident in living down here, and then we thought that our territory advantage is going to carry us through. But one thing that we didn't consider was if we couldn't win this coal, and if we do live inside the white territory, this is us going into the wolf's lair, then this capture sort of becomes center for white because our group here has to be alive eventually, which would prevent the left-hand side from having any issues, any agi or threats. And if that happens, white doesn't actually need to capture black in the wolf's lair on the bottom here. And so that's something that we didn't analyze really well. We had felt that uh, you know white didn't have any threatening thing against black in the middle, and we have the threat here. So it's very crucial for us to either win the code right now, and we did. We started the code here, either win the code right now or to just survive in a very in a non um, survive in a comfortable way on the bottom. So instead, we were deliberating on where to Atari. We decided this because eventually we wanted to capture this later. Um, and our thinking was if we played this and then somehow had some threats in the middle here, and white captured us, and we captured here, white makes a big territory, but we captured this, and then white has some weaknesses here as well, and then we get the first move on the right hand side. Something like this, we felt was a possibility. Indeed, something like that was gonna be this is basically even, black ahead by 0.7, which is valid, but white was probably not spending a full move just capturing this. We would have to make the bottom really big, and so that's some considerations. So we didn't want to start the code right away, which is right. But that would also mean that our threats here was gone. So in hindsight, of course, we would have chosen right, to Atari in the right part. We'd probably play this one, and it was going to be a threat. Um, just if white captured here, this is about an even game, which is surprising. But um, oh no, this is good for black. Okay, never mind. So of course we can win the first code with a code thread. Um, and then the next one, we were also thinking about this. Atari can play here, and then Hane can play there as white, have to play this, and this whole thing was gonna be our ideal fighting scenario. We were gonna push here, and if white continues to do the regular moves, um, we'll have to, well, we'll just connect this, and white basically has to play here to make two eyes. That would be ideal. Um, that would be ideal. But you know, um, I think the AI had white playing something slightly different. White having this 8-9 exchange, which helps out a little. But overall, it's broadly similar. So that's what we should have done. And if we had, um, you know, and if we had another chance to choose at this point, I'm sure that's what we would have done. We had some regrets, in other words, at around this time. And so now we're thinking we're gonna go in and try to live here, which we were not too worried about. We expected whites to We expected exactly this shape, something like this, and we were gonna live with this shape no matter what. This is the AI's recommendation, but Ryan played something that's very, very strong as well. So here again, our initial thing where we kept thinking about white not having two eyes in here really came back to hurt us here. Um, this move makes perfect sense. White is making the strongest outside, the weakest outside shape stronger, but and sort of forcing us to play along the thickness here. I'm sure from the other side, um, if I had just taken 10 seconds and looked at this from White's perspective, would have been really easy to see. I would have felt, look, I am totally strong here. What are you doing going into my territory? And even if you live here, it's gonna be so difficult. And later, I'm gonna capture at D12 and I have some territory on the left-hand side. I'm gonna make some territory here, and even if you don't get captured, you're gonna like have a really tough time. So from all I needed was to look at it a little bit from the opponent's perspective, which was a little bit missing in my game this time. Maybe I would have chosen something. I would have pushed for sure, but I wouldn't have been so keen to interact with this left-hand side group. However, I did play some high quality moves here. This is the AI move. Um, Easy to anticipate white playing here as well. AI moves, played two AI moves, but at this critical juncture, that misidentification. We thought white was 60% strong. Indeed, instead, white was actually 80% strong, probably. maybe 90% strong. That little bit of a that little bit of a difference in my judgment really started to cost us right now. So here, of course, we have to break and try to move towards the weakest part of the surrounding stones for white. And if white plays something like that, we're gonna try to survive here like this. I don't know exactly how, but that's a way to do it. This would be probably reasonable. And if not, if white doesn't play two, um, we can push towards the right hand side. If something like regular is played, we can block. So this is for sure what we have to do. Instead, we played here. We expected white to play these moves, get this Atari in, and then we were gonna play something like this or this or this. Probably we would have chosen this if it was possible. If not, then we would have maybe chosen this or this. Make like 10 points and have white play this move to capture our corner. Um, and then move on towards the other parts of the board. Maybe fight over here on the top, maybe fight the cove, maybe something. Either way, that's what we decided. But if we were deciding on that, we didn't have to exchange the squeeze, which was really, it left the corner be almost dead. So, um, if we had played this, it would have been a fine move. Just regular without this squeeze. So at this critical juncture, extending down and pressing out was also fine. At this critical juncture, couldn't come up with the best defensive move. Um, and we always thought this Atari was going to be Sente, and we were going to be able to get this shape at least. Maybe not Atari here, just because we can Atari from the other side later. There's no way that white can capture this, or so we felt. So yeah, we ended up really playing in a way that really exposed a lot of our weaknesses because our moves were right up against the strongest white shape here. And so we didn't think white was gonna not connect to this one. Um, Maybe we were thinking at least we were gonna get something like this. But when white played here, we really felt a lot of trouble. Um, um, Yeah, because we allowed white to get this at first, another move on the outside, and this. So three valuable moves. It's no longer the case where we can like just live, you know, with two eyes and be happy. The value gotten from all those moves are probably equal to the capture on the top. So even though the game may still have some kind of a balance, it it you know it really required us to play precisely. And so now maybe we could have came up with this extend, but if we had come up with the extend before, I'm sure we would not. Would be so much better if we didn't exchange the squeeze that hurts a corner first. And so two shockingly bad moves from us. In hindsight, at the time we thought they were relatively good Sente moves. After these moves, white has to play here, and we could move on to the big area on the right hand side or um, on the top and so on. We were still kind of happy with our position here, but of course, losing the corner for basically for free was already gonna be bad. And white didn't capture that kind of save that one stone, which was even worse. And now we something went wrong, and we kept making follow-up mistakes as well because we were looking for white to make his two eyes. We were gonna live very comfortably then. We kept trying to interact with the thickness, and as a result, so we still could likely live at this time, even with the two mistakes. It's just that we gave up a lot of value. But we really wanted to um, really interact with the left-hand side. So it made us play a follow-up error here, which really made the game swing very badly in White's favor. Probably if we attached, White was gonna block on the outside, and then we were gonna headbutt here and be alive. This is probably gonna be likely gonna be alive um, because we have these two senteis, and then extend is sentei. White can't play this one because we have three liberties now. We can just play this. So this extend was going to be sentei, and we have so much ice space here. Not totally clear if we can totally live, but this was very likely to be alive. And even if we have to do this and fight this pole, um, afterwards, White was going to have to capture the corner, this corner, because if we play here, White indeed doesn't have two eyes. So we were gonna live somehow, um, pretty much live. Although we already at the time we already kind of felt that this game was not gonna be good for us. Okay, so that's why we decided to really entice the opponent to try to capture us, and that's exactly what happened to our detriment. And this was the last chance probably for us to survive with the connect here. But you know, at this time we couldn't take it, and um, we decided to go the risky and probably bad route. Um, yeah, yeah. At this moment, when White plays here, um, yeah, there's just not enough liberties in the corner for black, and so the thickness for White is proven out. Even after all these moves, White still lives in the corner, and White and Black has these things, but there's no way to capture White, and that's all. That's just the thickness showing up, and so we didn't survive. Very sad. We were just one move too short, and we gave up the last chance of maybe survive with this move. But at that moment, it was already a bit too late. Um, was already a bit too late. Um, yeah, yeah, like this diagram have us living here, but White can capture these three stones. So yeah, that was quite a thing. I wanted to be invited into the wolf's lair, and I went in, but a few more moves later, I got scared, and so that's why we played this squeeze, which it's like it helps us live here, but it gives up value, and so we were played a move that we really thought was going to be Sente, but turned out to be not Sente. And we went into the wolf's lair, invited the opponent to kill our group, and we didn't survive the attempt. So very we played relatively high quality the first half of the game, but right around the hundreds move mark, we exposed some weaknesses and didn't come up with a precise move. We looked for Aji in White's thickness, and we didn't find any Aji, and my opponent really punished us for it. And it got worse and worse. This died, so we were losing big, and we cut on the in the middle, got um, some more complications, but at this moment we were one step too late. After all, we did spend a move making this Atari, which allowed White another move, and um, we were harboring some ideas of connecting here and then capturing the whole top and be okay. But we didn't have this capture and we are tired at the second line. And if we could have a capture that is here and C14 maybe, but um, at this moment it's just looking for anything. Um, in the light of the Ryan's final game, maybe we were correct, and maybe if we got Ryan to make a large misclick at this point, maybe. But in all honesty, we didn't put enough pressure on Ryan after dying on the inside the wolf's lair to have that possibility. And Ryan didn't use all his time. Uh, Ryan may have used up his 1 hour, but he didn't need like a whole minute to calculate end games and things like that. So in the end, we lost the first group. We lost the corner. We lost the middle group here, and then we also lost the left-hand side group. So would you have lost by 90 points against Ryan, or would you guys have done slightly better than we did? Leave a note, leave a comment. Thank you. Um, yeah, this was the very detailed review. Also, do let me know if you guys like this kind of really long and detailed reviews. Okay, thanks for watching. Tune in for the next things. We're playing City League again this Thursday, so we might have something similar um, coming up. Okay. Hello, guys. I want to tell you guys about the biggest Go gathering in the world. It's the US Go Congress. This gets you to the Go Congress main page, gocongress.org. It's going to happen July 13th to 21st in Portland, Oregon. Register. It's the biggest gathering of Go players, much bigger than any professional tournaments in Asia. Um, the cost has been reduced to $400 to attend. If you're a young guy, it's 200. If you just want to be on site, it's just 100. Professionals from Asia, professionals from other Europe, we get avid Go players, kids, perfect 1 week vacation. Hopefully, I can see you guys at the Go Congress. The AGA, American Go Association, runs a lot of Go events, organizes tournaments, organizes the annual US Go Congress, many events for the Go players, Go enthusiasts out there. Um, to join the AGA, there's a membership, and today we're offering you guys a 50% discount on the annual adult membership for the AGA. So if you guys are looking to play in any US NA tournaments, um, you can get your memberships while you register for the tournaments, the specific events, or you can join online. Go to the usgo.org, the AGA website, click join the AGA. Um, Join now. Adult full membership goes through, put your names down and everything. And at the end, it will ask you to pay. This is $30 for the annual membership. And here you guys can use this coupon to get 50% off. ZCHEN24. Just type it in right here, have a coupon, enter the code, get 50% off on your AGA membership.